2026 Montana's Funniest Human Person Competition. I know a lot of you have been here on one of the past 4 Wednesdays voting and watching and laughing at the people. And it's nice to see you again. And it's nice to see a packed room. Wow, this is full. Hello, everyone. We have 10 competitors competing tonight. They are listed on the screen. I realize you can't read it over there, but trust me, there are 10 of them. They have been instructed to do 8 to 10 minutes. And they've been instructed to do different material than they did in the prelim. So you'll be hearing fresh stuff. Yeah, I am your host. My name is John Nelson. Some people can call me Mr. Nelson from time to time if they're feeling respectful. But some people call me Meowster Nelson. Yes, Meowster Nelson, because I have cat-like prefixes. Yes. Not cat-like reflexes, cat-like prefixes. That's me. At a hippopotamus village in Botswana this week, the chief hippopotamus went on for over an hour just berating his herd about the dangerous vice of gluttony. And so it's pretty ironic for the very next day, he was the one caught gorging himself on over 85 palm fronds and an entire rancid alligator carcass. And he actually is very sick right now. He's listed in hypocritical condition. Another headline from this week, a sad headline. The world's oldest person has died. Again. Keeps happening, happens every year, sometimes multiple times a year. I don't even know why we ask these people for healthy living tips. Like, they're dropping like flies. Another headline I came across, the town of Moscow, Idaho, did a referendum, and what they're going to do is they're going to change the name of their town. It's a move to show solidarity with the Ukrainian people during this time. Although, frankly, I don't know if the new name for their town they picked is going to be any more popular. They went with Taliban Women's Rights, Idaho. It's a weird choice. A little bit more about me before we get started. I sleep naked. Anybody else out there in 2026 sleeping naked? Yeah, there's one over there, and a couple in the back, yeah. It's awesome. Like, you guys, if you haven't tried it, I know a lot of you spend most of your life worrying about freedom while you're awake. Don't forget about freedom when you're asleep. A lot of you seem like you're living in a prison of your own construction, a prison called pajamas. I'm here to tell you, you have to try it. The beautiful silky feel of the sheets, the utter lack of static electricity, I love it. In fact, I don't think I'm ever going back to sleeping with clothes on again. Which is why my boss told me I'm not allowed to take naps at work anymore. Those have been my attempts to warm you up. And now we bring on the real people. Please keep this energy going and help me welcome Amanda Taylor.
All right, taking on for your host, John. I guess I need to start sleeping naked, so I have a goal. That's great. My name is Amanda. I'm from Missoula. I love driving into Bozeman. It really just reminds me of my childhood because I feel so poor. But don't worry, I am doing financially better than my parents. My socioeconomic status is like, in the winter I still tell my cat to put a sweater on because the heat's expensive. But I don't tell my cat every other week that we might lose the house. So obviously my cat and I have a strange relationship. I would summarize it as similar to a serial killer and his overbearing mom. So we both go out in the morning, I go to work, he goes and finds some innocent victim, and he drags them home and tortures them and holds them hostage until they die. And then that's where I come in. And I clean up the body, and I remove all evidence of the crime. And then I pick up my boy, and I hold him to my bosom. And I say, baby had a big, big day. Mama took care of it. So I am supporting a serial killer's lifestyle with my socioeconomic status. All the mothering and nurturing gets exhausting, right? It's hard to be a mom, especially of a serial killer. So sometimes I have to just do dude things to shake things up. Like I hook a trailer onto my truck and I drive backwards. And I put the trailer in a specific spot. Turns out that is not as hard as they make it look. Thanks for the clap for that. Yeah, the other dude thing I like to do is to just really exude unfounded confidence. Like, excuse me, sir, would you be up for arm wrestling me right now?
Let's go.
No, because he would lose, right? Yeah. If we were to arm wrestle, I would win. Yeah, unfortunately, there's just not enough time. Next time, I'll get you. But my favorite dude thing to do is just suppress my emotions. Just shove them so far down. You just shove them so far down that they only come out sideways and on inanimate objects. It's usually like a computer or something like that. Like, this is basically my childhood. It was my sister and I playing with Barbies. Our Barbies are making out. We're having the time of our lives. And then from my dad's office, we just hear, "Goddamn piece of shit computer, bastard, Bill Gates motherfucker!" And that is how I learned that my dad has feelings. Correction, it's actually singular. He has one feeling. And it is anger. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's anger. So I have an old house, and the floor is really unlevel. And, so the washing machine always, like, no matter how many times I readjust it, it gets unlevel again, and it starts making that sound. It's like, go, 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 go. And then the other day that happened, and I walked over to the washing machine, and I was like, "Goddamn piece of shit, Maytag motherfucker!" And then I kicked it, and the front part fell off, and I was like, "You're a little bitch!" And I have never felt so close to my dad. And it's like, maybe we aren't so different. Speaking of fathers, I grew up with Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. The Big Daddy. Big Daddy in the sky. He was my best friend. And when you grow up with Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, it just makes high school a really weird time. There's a lot of gaps in information. And high school reminds me of hand jobs. Not, I got a nod. Yeah. Somebody was getting hand jobs in high school. Not because I was giving them, I just heard about these things, right? Like, one time my friend Tabitha was like, "Amanda, I got fingered." And I was like, "That is crazy. Wow." I had no idea what she was talking about. And if we had smartphones at that time, I would have been Googling, like, what is fingering? So for fun, I recently Googled, what is fingering? And Google said it's manual stimulation of the vulva and vagina, analogous to the hand job. And if I was in high school and Googling that, I still wouldn't have known what that meant. I'm actually still not sure what a vulva is. I'm still wondering, but right. So yeah, but I did recently learn about hand jobs. Recently, just in my late 30s, I thought it was time. So I did one. Which is what all the hot girls say. I did one. So I recently did one from beginning to
Climax.
Yeah. So this, from beginning to, I mean, let's just say to term. We went to term. And I mean, I was really proud of myself. But then this man told me that it was life-changing. It's like, wow, life-changing. Number one, I think you need to get out more. But that was really a great compliment because this was a man who had cancer twice and almost died. It's like, life-changing? It's like, wow. Wow. I have the power. It's like, wow, you're amazing. You beat cancer. All right, that's all I have tonight. Thank you all for coming out. My name's Amanda Taylor.
Taylor, thank you very much, Amanda. That was fantastic. Our only competitor from Missoula. Do not hold that against her, you dirty, dirty guy. I also had a number of hand jobs in high school. Very generous man named John, who later became an engineer. He took care of me. It was awesome. Contestant number 2, on to contestant number 2. Let's clap real loud for Noah Crow.
Nice to see you. Hello. Oh man. Do you guys want to see my Mitch McConnell impression? Okay. And that's a senator from Alabama. We're feeling really good about our country right now. We're gonna go away from that. I can relate to Mitch because I was stutter, and it's hard to do things with that too. I just don't look like as much of a stupid asshole as he does when he does it. One time, I'm out of breath from the Mitch McConnell impression. I'm sorry. It's a lot of core to freeze for that long. He's really tired afterwards. He naps with his Jello. I should riff on Mitch McConnell the whole 10 minutes. I think that would do me some really good. But I having a stutter, it causes weird social interactions. Like one time I was at a coffee shop in Portland and I must have stuttered really bad when I said my name, because when the barista called out, "Mocha for Noah?" there were 4 N's on that goddamn cup. Now I don't know if you know how to spell, but that's too many. That's too many. There's only one. There's only one. Another time I was on the first date with my ex-girlfriend. Halfway through, she gets all quiet and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she goes, I'm just so glad that you're the one that has the stutter and not me." And she gave me 2 reasons. 2 reasons. The first is probably the best one. She thought it was cute. The second is probably the worst one. She looks me dead in my eye and goes, "I just don't have the patience." I think that if I had a stutter, I think I'd shoot myself. I'm sorry. I've never looked at anybody in a wheelchair and went, "Oh my God, you're so cute." Glad it's not me, though. I don't have the balance for that. You would never say something like that. One time I was flirting with a girl who was way out of my league. She was gorgeous, had an accent that I couldn't place. And so of course I wanted to ask her, what country are you from? But I have a stutter. So what I said was, hey, what cunt, where are you from? Still don't know. Ukraine, maybe? I'll never be sure. I hate how in songs it's like cool to do a stutter sometimes. You know, like Benny and the Jets. Because that's like the epitome of cool, right? Is Benny and the Jets. A 1981 classic by Elton John is the epitome of cool. You would never do that with any other verbal disability. You know, we would be really mad at Beyonce if it was all the thing of it is, all the thing of it is, all the thing of it is. You wouldn't win a Grammy for that, bae. Growing up, there was no examples or role models that had stutters. I mean, think about it. How many do you know? I can think of 2. Yeah, Joe Biden. He's the reason that people ask me if I have dementia all the time. And I'm like, no, that's a different guy. It's just one guy who happened to also have a stutter before. It's worse now. Dementia does run in my family, but I don't have it as of right now. You got Professor Quirrell from Harry Potter. You know, he's the bad guy, kinda. He just like the bad guy is like the back of his head. That's a fucking weird movie that you millennials love so much. I did that joke in New Orleans, and a guy in the back who I believe to have been the Shadow Man from Princess and the Frog. He goes, "There's one more." I'm like, "Okay, Shadow Man, who?" "James Earl Jones." And he's right. The late, great James Earl Jones had a stutter. The reason that you don't know that is because you get takes as an actor. I got one fucking shot of this. And it's do or die, baby. And I die a lot. So that got me thinking. What if James Earl Jones stuttered during his most iconic lines? Yeah. Some of you were with me. You know, you got Luke. Bro, I'm your dad. I wanted to really draw it out, but Daddy's disabled. I don't know what to tell you. It's like Lion King. It's like Simba. We own that land. It's ours. The sun touches it and shit. It's cool as fuck. I probably shouldn't say that in front of you, little boy, but my bad. I've had a really bad day, and this is really cheering me up. Thank you so much. My set is not over. That was a ruse. Should I do the Mitch McConnell impression again? That win me over, you guys again? What the fuck are you laughing about? Okay. Laughing when there's no punchline. That's what my job is here. I am supposed to set you up for laughter success. And I feel like we've done our job here today. And I've got one more for you. I saw this. No, I have 2 more for you. Sorry. You're never getting rid of me. I leave when I want. I worked at a deli and in Butte, and this lady walks up and I'm like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And she looks at me and goes, "Are you from Butte?" And I'm like, "No, why do I not seem tough enough?" Because I'm not tough enough. I lived there for 9 months and I was scared the whole time. And I'm from Spokane. Butte is rough. And the police are everywhere. I don't know if you've ever been there for longer than 5 minutes, but the police per person, the ratio's off. And then she asked me, "Are you in a gang?" I'm sorry, I look like Baymax from Big Hero 6. I'm not exactly gang material. I then realized that she was a Jesus freak and she didn't like my tattoos. Now I'm wearing long sleeves. You can't see them. I will show you them after. If you do not believe me, I have a frog. I have a daisy. I have my little sister's birthday. I know. What fucking gang am I in? I don't believe that Ted, the teddy bear, has a gang, so I think that's the only one that I'd be allowed in. I have one more, and then I'll leave. A friend from high school posted this on Instagram, and I think that having my notes is really unprofessional, but her words deserve proper quoting. People see success, but not your actions behind the scenes day to day. The best advice I have for young hustlers: grind while they party, grind while they doubt, and don't give up when things are hard, because that's usually right before it gets better. I had a very difficult day today. I had plans to leave at 5, but I'm building real accountability. I'm teaching my subconscious that my feelings do not control me. My mindset does. She used to sell me weed. You used to be cool, Lexi. My name's Noah Crow. Thank you very much.
Noah informed us that he looks like Betamax from Big Hero 6, which is one of my favorite movies. He also informed us another movie fact that James Earl Jones had a stutter, but he also had a cool lightsaber. So I think James is doing all right. My other favorite part about Noah Crow, his name is the guy who built the Ark and one of the animals that survived on it. That's so cool. And tonight's show is very stacked with Bible names. So let's get into another one. Please put your hands together for Eli Singleton. Everybody's coming.
Do not climb.
What's up? How are you guys doing? Hell yeah. When I was in high school, I went to the movies with my best friend and his girlfriend, and during the movie he kept like rubbing shoulders with me and I didn't know why, till I looked over and realized he had been fingering his girlfriend through the entire movie. Yeah. Totally ruined Marley and me, but now that was a mistake to sit in between them. But and I can't watch that movie without getting fingered now. It's crazy. It's so weird. A little bit about me. People like to tell me that I'm trans passing. That I look like a trans man. And I know that they usually mean that because it's mostly trans people that tell me that. They show me photos of other trans men. It's like a spot-on image every time. It's never not missed. I am convinced at this point that they like take my photo to the doctor and they're like, make me this, you know, but I get it. I'm the final form and I think that's cool. But I now have just like a bunch of trans friends I didn't earn. My whole June is booked. It's awesome. So I just have like trans imposter syndrome now. Like I didn't earn them at all. I feel like I have the same like street cred as like Eminem has with like black people. Like, if you saw me with my trans friends and I said like the F slur, he'd be like, I don't think he should say it, but I'm pretty sure he's allowed to for some reason, you know, like if he gets a pass or something. So ICE is out there. Crazy, they're everywhere. I don't know. Finally, white ice is more dangerous than black ice. Finally. Okay. Shut up, Republicans. You voted wrong. Fuck off. So, it's your guy. And that was my walkout song. No, you're cool. It's fun. Actually, I just look like this. I used to be Mormon. I don't know if that reads. Not trans, just probably gay. Tricked into it. I sell cars now. I used to sell God. Cars are so much easier. It's like people want them. It's nuts. Are there any Mormons here? One? Yeah? One message for you. Go to hell. God told me to say that. That was a revelation. If you don't know anything about the Mormon Church, I'll teach you right now. We'll play 2 truths and a lie about the Mormon Church. There was conversion therapy at BYU campus. They hated black people until their government told them they couldn't. And Joseph Smith had relationships with underage women.
They're all true.
Oh, I forgot the lie. But no, that's on me. I think that's called trauma dumping or something. But no, I was a Mormon missionary. It's pretty cool. I went to a very exotic, fun place. I went to the state of Kentucky. It was whole new language and everything. Pretty sweet. It's really weird to be like 18, 19 years old and it's like you don't know shit at all about the world. And people have like real world problems. They would tell you like, I'm an alcoholic. My wife just left me. I can't pay my rent. We would just be like, you could try reading the Book of Mormon. Like, you could pray, go to church with us or something. We didn't have internet access on our missions, so we'd have to go to the public library to email our families. So every Monday morning, there'd be like 8 Mormon missionaries and then like 30 homeless people watching pornography. It was so wholesome. Very hard to write your family about spiritual experiences when there's like a hardcore gangbang going on next to you, but we made it work. I had this very prestigious name on my mission. I was known as the Gay Magnet. Something about this guy just brought in those gays, you know. What can I say? I'm a snack. But I'd have to like explain to like 60-year-old church leaders why I had like a flip phone full of dick pics and be like, they said they were interested. I don't know. But I remember teaching a gay man once, and it went back and forth for like a couple hours. He talked about his lifestyle. We talked about Jesus. Went on and on. I don't know really who won that argument, but we did spend the night at his house. So he's like super convincing. I kept telling him to come unto Jesus. Apparently he thought I was Jesus. So, that's right, Republicans, where you at? Still not scared. Everybody's coming. One of my companions was gay on my mission, which I do like to point out. Very conservative organization made me call another man my companion for 2 years. That's gayer than saying partner. That is the gayest word you can say. So what happened was he came into the room. I was laying on my bed, and he came down. He like laid right down on top of me, and then he whispered in my ear, "Isn't this nice?" And I didn't know what to do. So I didn't like want to hurt his feelings or anything. So I looked back to him and I said, "Get the fuck off of me." And that's how I knew I wasn't gay. Or at least knew that I wasn't a bottom. I think it was more of a positional thing for me at the end of the day. I don't know, just like, to this day, I think the Lord only took me like 20 minutes to pray away that boner or something like that, which I think is like a world record or something. So it's pretty good. It's not bad. I know, I'm awesome. What else is going on? Remember when that guy killed himself outside of Walmart? That was nuts. Changed my whole life. I was like, what the fuck? That is not what they meant by self-checkout. I know. Nutter banger. So good. So funny. We got Montana people here. There's Montana folks. Yeah. All right. Yep, 6 of you. That's good. If you don't know, there's this cool thing out in Livingston called the boat float every year. If you haven't been before, it's super fun. It starts in July. You float down the Yellowstone. You like shoot water guns at other rafts. You like get drunk all day. But the really fun part that nobody tells you about is that when other rafts are going by and there's women on there, everybody yells out, "Show us your tits!" And then they show you their tits. It's pretty cool. Pretty dope. Obviously an adult activity. I went when I was 10. And just what Dad wanted to do with his summer custody that year. But trying to make some memories. So my brother, who was 8 years old at the time, was really big into this. Loved it. Every raft that went by, "Show us your tits," as many times as he could. I was always like a big ally, obviously. I was always like, "Show us your brain." You know what I mean, ladies? I've always been there for you. But I'd row over to other rafts and be like, "I have these consent forms if you'd like to sign those," and they weren't interested. But there's this lady there. My dad really wanted to see her tits, but she wouldn't show them because we were there. So we pretended to like look away and then look back real quick. And then we regretted that decision immediately. Because hanging from her nipples, I only know how to describe as colonial door knockers. You know, like big ones. She looked like the entrance to a haunted house. Turns out she was a haunted house. She ended up being our stepmom that summer. So it was kind of full circle on that. Another awesome one. Just having fun now. All right, let's rip this big closer. Here we go. You guys know that song "Body Like a Back Road"? Remember that one? That Pop Country 2017 banger. Remember that one? That was a good song. If you don't know, the premise of the song is this guy's comparing a lady's body to a back road. I don't know if you've been on a back road lately, but not good. Conditions aren't great. He tries real hard during the song, but obviously it's a pop country song. He didn't write that song. He's just like a good old Oklahoma boy. I think if you made him write that song, got him drunk, and just made him try to sit down and write that out, I think this is how the song would go. Your body's like a back road. It's dirty. It's bumpy. And when you're drunk, you get to do what you want on it. So that's what he thinks, not me. Remember, ally. I would never do such a thing. No, me, I like a body like a newly paved road, you know? It's like smooth, freshly painted, and black. But it's not how it usually goes, though. It's usually like a body like a cul-de-sac, you know? It's like curvy and inviting, but if you hang around for too long, kids show up. All right, you guys have been an awesome crowd. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye.
He made those Mormon mission sounds really sexy, guys. Is that weird? More like Mormon emissions, you know what I'm saying? I've decided throughout the night I'm gonna just like train you how to do the voting because that's an important part of the show. So you've seen 3 comics so far. Who remembers them? Amanda, Noah, you know the Betamax guy, and then Eli, the perfect like trans profile of the person, that guy. Okay, so each contestant has a box that's at the back of the bar. At the very end of the show, we're gonna do our voting with the red gems. You each have 3 red gems, right? Everyone has red gems? Okay. If you do not have red gems, please raise your hand right now. A lot of people. Okay, so that tells me later I'll get some red gems and we'll hand it up. Okay, and you're allowed to split up the red gems between any comics you want. You could give all 3 of your gems to one of the comics in the box that has their name on it. Or you could split them up 2 and 1, or obviously 1 and 1. Those are the options. So that's how voting works. I'll cover more about that later, but just keep that in mind. We move on to another wonderful comedian, comedian number 4. Now, we've had some really nice Bible names so far, but it's also nice to have a really good World War I name, isn't it? And please help me welcome Kaiser Lieb.
My name is Kaiser Lieb, and you will vote for me, 'cause I'm the one up on the stage who is the most funny. There is this man right here, and he is drinking beer. And later on he will get laid because he has no fear. She's gonna suck his dick, it's very long and thick. Unless they are brother and sister, which does not rhyme. Stop riffing and do material because this is a competition. If they invited me later to join them, I would have to say no. Because the last time I disappointed 2 people, it was my parents. Yeah, I couldn't stay hard for them either. No, I did see my parents recently. That was really hard to dig them up. I think the ginger ale is the IPA of sodas. When you buy a cantaloupe, first you have to knock on the cantaloupe. What are you listening for? It's not like it's gonna be like occupied. You forget to knock and you slice into the cantaloupe and a whole family of gnomes just pops out. The father gnome confronts you like, why did you destroy our home? And you just have to let them live in your cupboard. I'm from Montana though, anybody else? About half the room, that tracks for Bozeman. We got this city in Montana that is called Great Falls, anybody? 2 words in that name, they're both lies. Like, sure, it's not very great, but it's also not very falls. What they do have is a large, prominent butte, which the city that is named that does not. They should trade. Great Falls could be Butte, and Butte can be post-apocalyptic St. Patrick's Day. You guys think people from Butte ever look in the mirror and they're like, well, at least we're not Billings. First 3 years that I was telling jokes, I was down in California. And I'd be like, I'm from Montana. And there would always be one really drunken woo in the back. Like, Debbie, you are not from Montana. You are from Stockton, and the only thing you have in common with Montana is the meth. Stockton is like the Billings of California. I've never been to either one, but they're both terrible.
People are saying that I'm the most versatile comedian maybe in all of Montana. Maybe there's no other comedians as versatile as me in the entire world. I did the improvised singing, and then I did the one-liners, and I did a story about Montana. And sometimes people, they say, Kaiser, is there anything you can't do? And clearly I cannot do a Donald Trump impression.
I was really committed to the bit. I could just shit myself off camera. We got a bunch of news readers in here. But you know what would make my life better is if I was informed about all of the things that are bad in the world. Let me hold this 2-inch glass rectangle up to my face at 11 p.m. when I should be sleeping. What happened today, I don't know.
I think that the best kind of catangles is rectangles. I like them, and buildings are them. And when the brickmen were building the buildings, they had a lot of little rectangles that they stacked up to make all of these places where people can live and they can work, and it's great. I leave my apartment rectangle. I walk on a sidewalk made out of rectangles. I go to my work tangle. I open the door. Rectangle. I push rectangular buttons on a rectangular keyboard. I make the lights on the rectangular screen change. When I do a good job, my boss gives me rectangles.
Take the rectangles to the store and I exchange them for various goods and services. And the store people give me back change. I do not like change. Change is circle money. The only appropriate thing to do with circle money is to say, oh, sorry. Like earlier I engaged in a transaction in which I did not do enough arithmetic to make it be an even number of rectangle money, and they gave me this medal that now I have to carry around and be ashamed about, but I really want this soda, please. Thank you, cashier. And so I do what any of you would do. I take the circle money outside and I give it to the homeless. And they're comfortable with it and they use it willingly in their commercial transactions. Because that's what homelessness is. Rectangle deficiency. I think breakfast cereal is pretty great, right? It's crunchy, it's sugary, it's got like red dye number 42 and a bunch of other things that RFK never banned for us. It's got a leprechaun and a sea admiral, and there is a rabbit who claims to be an adult but who hangs out with children for some reason. They did all of this so that they could compete with oatmeal, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is sold by a 16th century religious figure. We should sell other things with religious figures. I'm gonna get up in the morning, I wanna put on my Islam pants, go to my Scientology microwave, make myself a bowl of Quaker oatmeal. When I get done, I'm gonna brush my teeth with some Mormon brand toothpaste. Get your teeth as white as our congregation. That joke is about demographics, not about doctrine. You're not allowed to be mad at it. I still get very nervous, so I went to all the other denominations to ask. I went to the Seventh-day Adventists. They weren't there. They said come back yesterday. I went to the evangelicals, but I couldn't understand their answer because they were speaking in tongues. Finally, I went back to the Presbyterians, and they said that about half of you were predestined not to laugh at this joke. I think bumper stickers are cool too. Like, you ever been in traffic and like the back of that car is right? I will coexist. I had been on my way to deliver a scathing indictment of Taoism, but the little yin-yang is the S. And people who have Christianity bumper stickers always drive exactly like Jesus, who lived 2,000 years ago and had never seen a car. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kaiser Lee. Clap for me.
He's from Helena. So we got a pretty diverse lineup today, guys. We had a Missoula and a Helena. That's our diversity. Congratulations. They may have mentioned I'm an engineer, and engineering is all about efficiency, and I love efficiency. And I find it's not just good in my job, it's good in every aspect of my life. For instance, I used to be a Seventh-day Adventist, now I'm down to a Fifth-day Adventist. Now you've had all the religious jokes, thanks to Kaiser and thanks to me. Your next contestant, another great Bible name. Let's make it nice and loud for Stone Cassad.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho, H to the O-V.
What the fuck is going on, everybody? How we doing? Yeah, it's really nice to be doing comedy at a comedy club again. I've been doing comedy at really nice hotels lately, which for me feels like a really nice Midwest vacation. Because the only time we had to go to hotels growing up is when tornadoes came through and knocked all the power out. My dad would be super excited whenever the sirens would go off because he'd be like, come on kids, grab your skivvies, we going swimming! My mama gets so nervous about it. She's like, kids, quick, get to the basement. I was like, fuck that, I got a pack. The guy on the radio said it's gonna be an F4. I'm gonna need at least 3 outfits. I have a lot of friends in Florida, and I hate when they try to tell me that hurricanes are worse than tornadoes. I'm like, no, they're not. Nobody's ever had time to name a tornado. Like, you never get a 3 days heads up that Tornado Dale's coming through the trailer park. I don't know if this checks in the room or not. I used to live in a trailer. Excuse me, my manners. Don't want to offend anybody. Mobile home. You know the world's getting bad when I have to appropriate a manufactured structure. I just hate how people try to like put you down for it. Because they're like, you live in a trailer court. That's why I started telling people I lived in the herd. I live in the pride of trailers now. I just wish I had a son in there because I feel like I missed my Mufasa Simba moment. I was like, you see this, son? We own all that the light touches, which is about 3 feet on each side, so don't start wandering. I really miss the movie stores. I feel like kids today will never know what it's like to be passed by random horny adults on the way to the restricted section. I'm gonna have a really hard time explaining this to my kids one day when I'm like, you know, back in my day, the two nations browsed in harmony. And then one day everything changed and the fire stick attacked. Oh man. But all we're left with is like streaming and going to the movie theaters. And you don't avoid the creeps there either. Like I went to Zootopia 2 the other day, and like 20 minutes into the movie, this hammered guy comes stumbling in. He does like 2 laps around the whole thing before he sits down. An hour into the movie, 2 cops came in and arrested him. And cops say the dumbest shit when they arrest people, because they looked at us and they were like, there's nothing to see here. I was like, buddy, you're literally the most interesting thing in the room right now. And I'm on mushrooms. So after the movie, my come down movie was watching Monsters, Inc. And isn't it crazy that they discovered portals to every children's bedroom, but not a renewable energy source? Kind of seems like our government nowadays, you know? And like the whole moral of the movie is that monsters shouldn't scare children. We should make them laugh. But what if you're not funny? Now you're thousands of dollars in debt to Monsters University. With a bachelor in the degree of scaring children. And plus you're trying to find a job as a registered scarer. At least they'll let you be president. What if I Scooby-Doo this shit, we pull the mask off of Trump and he's been water news the whole time? He's like, and I would have kidnapped 1,000 children to keep this country alive. With all this stuff coming out on the list, it's about time we forgive Michael Jackson, right? Stay with me. Maybe not fully. I just feel like him and those people have a lot in common, you know? Like, I think it'd be really funny if the ghost of Michael Jackson haunted everybody on that list. I would pay a lot of money to see that interaction with Trump. Like, he just catches Trump in the bathroom and he's like, I'm starting with the pedo in the mirror. Trump's like, oh fuck, it's the king of pop. Mike, you've been out of the game for a while. They're not a fan of kings anymore. I don't know what you've heard, but Billy Clinton is not my lover. He's not. But he did pull his pants down one time, and I said, wow, what a big, beautiful bill you have. Look, I hope Trump is not a pedophile, okay? That's not a good visual representation of our nation's leader. But it does look really sus when you do have photos with Epstein. That'd be like if he had a photo with Walt Disney at Disney World and he was like, I didn't ride anything. I'm just here to admire the attractions and get a little goofy. I don't understand these people though, man. Like these underage girls. Like my wife, she just turned 30. And it's really cool to see her step into her sexual prime. It's just a shame she couldn't catch me in mine. You see, then I'd be 14. And then she'd be a pedophile. And then maybe finally a woman could be president of this country. Oh, I said it. 30-year-old pussy's different, dude. It is. I'm telling you. We've been together for like all of our 20s, but 30-year-old is different. Like, I thought she was wanting to have kids before, but now it's kind of like having sex with a cat. It's like barbed, it kind of hurts, but I like it. I can't keep her off of me, dude. I wish. She's been getting into smut lately, which is like romantic book porn, for those of you who aren't aware. Yeah, nothing's more disappointing than being 6 years into marriage, and now when I go down on my wife, she's like, wait, let me go get my book. As you were. I just hate how selfish she is with it, you know? 'Cause she's like up there reading away, having the time of her life. And like, can't she read aloud so we could both finish? More of an auditory guy, you know? I was like, babe, bringing a book to bed is like bringing a scratch off to the casino. Like, all the games are in front of you. She's like, yeah, but I have better luck when I play myself. I was like, can't you just get into porn like a normal person? She was like, absolutely not. Which is like totally fair. You're not a better person for engaging in porn no matter what side of the coin you're on. She was like, yeah, plus they drug and rape underage women in there. I was like, what type of porn do you think I watch, dude? She was like, I'm sorry, I've just seen Taken too many times. I was like, we have a joint bank account. Like, we don't have sex trafficking money. Because if we did, you wouldn't be married. You'd be sold. She hates that joke. She's in the back. Let's give her a round of applause. That's a lie. I didn't put tracking on that shipping. I don't know where she's at, dude. So we would decided to settle on movies. Like, we were watching a movie the other day. It's with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. It's Just Go With It. And because we're both suckers for romantic comedies, after the movie we got a little intimate. But then I noticed that halfway through that we both had our eyes closed. I was like, shit, are we both thinking about Adam Sandler right now? This is crazy. Everybody's a little bit gay with movies. Like, you ever seen Brad Pitt and Troy? Fuck, dude. The shock factor's gone, though. Like, especially for, like, being queer in 2026. It's like being gay or trans in 2026 is like being super big into Mario Kart in the early 2000s. It's like, who hasn't drove down Rainbow Road? You know what I mean? All right, that's all my thought. Thanks, everybody.
The impressions were awesome, right? I mean, he did an impression of Donald Trump talking to Michael Jackson. What was more reckless, that one or the impression of his own wife being gone down on by him? Amazing impression. Okay, a bit more bookkeeping. Raise your hands again if you do not have gems. Henry is going to help you out, and the rest of you, you can look at this little explanation. So these are voting boxes. There are 10 of them. Each box has a comedian's name on it, and we're going to do this at the very end. Leave the lid on it like this. Just reach over and put your gems into the box you want. You know what I mean? Like, don't mess around with the lid. They're very sturdy. All right, so we're halfway through. If anybody needs to get up and use the bathroom, feel free to do it now. That would be a good time. The bathroom is right back here. And as we get more gems, by the way, the gems have no cash value. So do not take the gems. Do not take the gems. This is not Snow White. We've had several movies mentioned. I would like to take a poll of people who want to tell us their favorite Disney movie, now that we've had a few mentions. Anybody want to shout out their favorite Disney movie? Oh, I haven't even seen Surf's Up. What was the one back here? Emperor's New Groove. David Spade, am I right? David Spade. This side of the room. Hit me with the Disney movie. What do you like? Huh? Aladdin. Beautiful. Street Rat. What's what? Lion King 2. Why do you like that better than Lion King 1? What happens? I haven't seen Lion King 2. There's a racial discussion in Lion King 2? Is she messing with me, or is Lion King 2 about racial discussion? Wow. Are we still getting gems? Has everyone got their gems?
No.
Almost there? All right. Well, keep your hands raised. I'm going to go ahead and start the second half of the show. That's been 5. We got another 5. Here we go. Let's applaud and welcome our next comedian. Here comes Abby Rohde.
What's up, motherfuckers? How we doing tonight? Ready for some more jokes or whatever? Okay. So my grandma visited me last week, and this chick, we got into a huge fight about astrology, because she's like this Christian woman who thinks it's bullshit. And look, I'm not anti-Christian at all. I just think if you get to believe baptizing your baby will send it to heaven, I should be able to believe things fell apart with Tyler because he's a Sagittarius. Right? Like if you get to believe if you pray hard enough, God will save your soul, I think that's really beautiful. Do your thing. But then I should be able to believe that if I rub my crystals hard enough, Bozeman will build a goddamn Trader Joe's. Right? Yeah. God, my grandma's so crazy though. She rolls up, not even 5 minutes into our conversation, she's like, I think black men are sexy. And then she follows up with, but what I'm really into are kids. It's like, Grandma, no. Grandma, that's what we call an inside thought. We keep that to ourselves. We don't share that. Like, you don't see me going around telling people about that time I got a pedicure with my dad, and they put the massage oil on his feet, and he leaned over and went, it's like a Diddy party in here. I was like, Dad, it's not. Grandma's not here. There's no kids for her to play with. It's obviously not. Jesus Christ. My grandma has cancer. And she has it of the breast variety, which is scary for me because that shit's hereditary. Go tit to tit down the bloodline quick. So I know it's coming for me. But I'm just going to try to beat it to the punch. I'm just going to go get a double mastectomy, right? But nice. It's going to be like a really big hit to my ego to go from like a double to a AAA cup size. Like, I'm gonna have to shop for bras at the American Girl doll store instead of the girl section of Target, you guys. I'm so fucked up. When my grandma came here though, I took her to Yellowstone because she likes trees. I don't know. I took her to Yellowstone and I actually read the signs this time. They have stuff for you to learn, turns out. I learned only 3% of Yellowstone is in Montana. I feel like I got pranked. Thought there would be more. It's 3% is in Montana, 1% is in Idaho, and then 96% of Yellowstone National Park is in Wyoming. And I just feel like most of the park being in Wyoming, but Montana getting all of the credit, is a lot like when hetero couples say, we're pregnant! Like, you're not! Like, dude, you're responsible for maybe 3% coming inside your girl in a porta potty at a rodeo. That's it. Like, the rest is all of her. Jesus, it's not a weak situation. Fuck. I also learned that a few years ago in Yellowstone, a woman died in a bear attack while she was hiking. That's sad. There's a witness to the accident, and they were interviewed afterwards, and they were like, dude, she was wearing super tiny shorts and tiny sports bras, so she was asking for it. Ew. Do you guys remember that big flood that ripped ass through Yellowstone a few years ago? Yeah, it's pretty major, right? I put 2 and 2 together. Happened the same year Roe v. Wade was overturned. So I guess Yellowstone just got like super wet for the oppression of women's bodies. Which does make sense since 96% of it is in Wyoming. I actually got an IUD recently. I'm super excited about this, but my doctor made it really weird because I'm like there naked from the ass down, spread out in all my glory, and she's like, Abby, what kind of fun adventures do you have planned for the rest of the day? I'm like, girl, I'm just focused on not queefing in your face today. Literally all I got on the docket. Jesus. God. I actually like having an IUD because, like, I don't get periods as much, which is great. Because period products suck, dude. Why are they still so terrible? We're in such an age of technological innovation, and period products are terrible. Like, I'll go on ChatGPT, it'll give me the history of the universe in a couple sentences. But when I'm on my period, I'm still shoving cardboard up my twat. Make that make sense. I'm so serious. We can send drones to Mars. That crusty-ass planet, I don't give a shit about. And then when I'm on my period, I've got like a leg up on my bathroom counter and I'm yanking on a silicone sippy cup in my hole. And then when I finally get it free, it makes the noise I can only describe as yanking a plunger off of the head of a bald man. Just... I also, did you guys know, this is a real thing. Tampons and pads are taxed above sales tax in some states. It's called the pig tax. This is a real thing. But it gets worse because in those same states, condoms, Viagra, and private plane parts aren't. And like, what the fuck? Even I would have gone to Epstein's Island if I knew the major ingredients were going to be tax exempt. Are you kidding me? That sounds awesome. Dude, sign me up. That's actually my leading theory. I think that's why all the rich fucks went in the first place. It wasn't to play with the kids. It was a tax write-off. These people will do anything to avoid taxes, even play with kids for a weekend while Stephen Hawking's on the loose jizzing on everyone. I want you all to know, I work in DEI and my boss is here tonight. So can you all just like pray for me on Monday so I don't get fired? Yeah. Oh my god. So I was hanging out with my bitch ass punk of sister the other day. And we played the game, we listen and we don't judge. Have you guys played this game? It's very fun. If you haven't played, here's how it goes. You reveal something embarrassing. You're supposed to not judge them for it. It is the greatest game ever invented. It's amazing. It tears families apart for generations. It's amazing. So anyway, we're playing and my sister goes first and she's like, okay, look. When I was a little kid, I had a big crush on her creepy drunk uncle. Wolf, right? Just kidding, it was me. I had the crush. Whole ass, dude. I've been falling for balding alcoholics from the tender age of 5, guys. It's a trend. Holy shit. But what I'm really into these days, stay with me on this. 30-year-old male veterinarians, okay? They're so hot. They are. They care about dogs. They wear those cute little scrubs. Their ass looks good. Like, they're just cute. And, okay. Do you guys agree that it is hot when a man is emotional?
Yes.
That silence is terrifying. Y'all need to go to therapy. Go to therapy. Jesus Christ. Okay. Or, can we agree on this? It's like hot when a guy, like, picks something up and the veins and muscles on his forearms are just like juicy. God, they're so hot. Like, that's sexy, right? Okay. So, when you euthanize a dog, stay with me. It's a bummer. And so when I was in high school, I worked at a vet and I'd be watching these appointments. And the vet, poor guy, he'd get so sad. His little eyes would get teary, his face would get wet. I'd get wet. And then I'd have to watch as he would carry the dead dog to the freezer in the back room. And his forearms, oh my God. Guys, those dead dogs weren't the only ones going to heaven. I've been happy already. Thank you guys so much.
She used all the girl terms for all the girl parts and processes. Was anybody else just sweating bullets back there? Or was it just me? Yeah. I learned some things tonight, some vocabulary. She puts the V in vocabulary words, that's what we say, right? She mentioned something called an IUD. No idea. I read the news during the Iraq War. I know IED, that's an improvised explosive device. But what she sounds way more scarier than that. But I'll look it up someday, maybe. Your next comedian coming to the stage. Let's be nice and friendly and welcome Paul Ozenkamp.
Hey, one more time for Abby. Yeah, she's funny, man. Yeah. And now we just kind of slide right back into the middle-aged white guy part of the night. A lot more of those as we go. Any other white guys here? Where are my white men at? Yeah. Easy, dude. Easy over there. It's like only a certain amount of enthusiasm we're allowed to give to that question. It's a fine line between being just a real proud man and a proud boy. Yeah, I've a buddy, man, that he's one of those like paranoid guys, and he's one of those guys that thinks it's like really tough to be a white guy these days, you know, and he's kind of a prepper. He calls himself a survivalist. He's like, you know, thinking immigrants are going to take over and all this stuff. And he's like, look, man, I'm just ready to do whatever steps I got to take to survive. And I'm like, the steps you got to take to survive, man, like the leading causes of death of white guys in this country are like cancer and heart disease. And the steps you got to take are called stairs. Maybe instead of that 12th gun, you should buy your first salad. That goes. Yeah, like, you are not going to die from an immigrant attack. It's going to be a heart attack. Dude, I guess. But it's weird though, because like the media and politicians and everything, they like try to get us scared about stuff that you know, this is going to kill you, this is going to kill you, but they don't get us scared about the right things. Like, if they wanted to get us white guys scared of the right stuff, they need to have a politician on TV, get like Obama on TV and be like, oh, look, my pasty American brothers. You're building a wall, but it's made out of plaque, and it's in your arteries. You need to focus less on red states and blue states, more on your prostates. I'd be running to the doctor's office like, yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, but it's nothing hard about being white. Like, it's pretty easy to be a white dude. You know, there's some annoying things, and there's some things that could be a little tricky. Like, you're thinking of something different than what I was. No, but I think, like, for me, like, especially living in a town like Bozeman, being a white guy in a town that's really white, one thing that I'm not very good at is like being inclusive, because I feel like it's a fine line between inclusive and like really creepy and awkward. Because there's so many white people in this town, when I see a person of color, I'm like, hi! How are you? Yeah, welcome, and I am so glad you're here. They're like, at Costco? No, anyway, I hope you love it here, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope nothing bad happens while you're... That sounds horrible. I'm an ally. I'm just being a friendly white. I think I'm very off-putting when I do that. It doesn't come off the way I want it to, you know? But I try my best. Yeah, it's, you know, the other thing that's kind of hard about being white is like having racist family members in your family, and you got those racist family members in your family. Yeah, if you're sitting there going like, yeah, I don't think so, I don't have any racist family members in my family, then it's probably you. We all got somebody. But for me, like, as the generations get older, it gets worse, you know? It's like, I had this uncle, and I remember watching football with my uncle, and he was sitting there, and he's like, you know, I'm not racist or anything, but... And I was like, off to a horrible start. Go on. You know, he's like, I'm not racist or anything, but I hate how the black players always got to dance after they score. I'm like, I'm just happy that things are going so well in your life that that's a primary concern. Because that's weird, you know? And then it gets worse. Like, you know, I was fishing with my grandpa once, and I was sitting there, and I was like, yeah, I guess the fish just aren't biting today, Grandpa. And he was like, yeah, damn Chinese. I was like, it's okay, Grandpa. You're gonna die soon. And he did. Yeah. And that's the real lesson here, you know. Don't be racist or you'll die.
let's just change. We'll just go to something lighter. So during the other round of this thing, I did this like speed round of like 10 impressions, and someone told me afterward, "Hey, you shouldn't have wasted that on this round. That was good. You should have done that in the final round." And I was like, great point. Yeah, I should have. That was like the best thing I had. So then I thought, you know what's better than 10 impressions? 11 impressions. We'll do 11 impressions. Do different impressions. But I just need someone, preferably in the back, that can yell these out in whatever order you want. Impressions. We'll see if we can do all 11, get through all 11 before my time's up here. Anyone who's loud that can yell these out, the whole club could hear them.
Back here.
Back here? I got somebody back here. All right, back here, yeah. Hand them to this dude raising his hand. You got it? You're nice and loud, dude?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, good. What's your name?
Ed.
Let's go, Ed. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. I gotta take a drink of water. He's already looking at it. All right. All right, now this is going to be, have you guys seen this thing on like TikTok? It's like, if so-and-so was an owl impressions. It's gonna be if these celebrities were an owl. Okay, you ready, Ed? Go.
Vince Vaughn.
Who was it? Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
No, I just said who. I just said who because I'm an owl. I wasn't looking for a response. That was a who from right here. That was a who from the heart, and that's kind of energy I'm bringing to the conversation. Okay.
Kevin Hart.
Listen. Here's the problem. You want to know who? I tell you who. I tell you who it is. I tell you who it is right now. Kevin Hart. Okay.
Jason Statham.
Oi, who? Who are you? Do you know who I am?
Okay, go ahead. What's that one?
Shrek.
Who would want to be with an ogre like me?
Adam Sandler.
I said, who buddy do? Who buddy do? I know who buddy do. Okay.
The Grinch.
Who's? I hate who's.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Who gives a shit?
Elmo.
Who? Elmo.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who's there? Who's there and why are you in my home?
RFK Jr.
Who is the World Health Organization? And it's a liberal scam.
Bernie Sanders.
Who's there? It's the billionaires and oligarchs who are running this country. That's who. Huh?
That's it.
That's it. All right. Okay, I got one more for you. One more. I know Stone was talking about Donald Trump a little bit, and there was one thing that Donald Trump did that I thought was pretty creative, and I was hoping he would kind of just see the whole thing out. And it was remember when he renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? And it was kind of a silly thing. I was like, you're so silly, Donald. I was kind of hoping he would just continue that whole thing. I was waiting for the press conference where he just renames everything with another country's name in it. I thought that would be kind of fun, where he would come up and be like,
China has created the worst game probably ever. Chinese checkers. We'll make it great again. We'll call it American Star Marbles. American Star Marbles. And Polish sausage. We love sausage. Polish sausage are now MAGA meat sticks. MAGA meat sticks. And Canadian geese. Canada's been treating us very badly. We can't let Canada have all the geese. The Canada geese will now be Donald's ducks. They'll be my ducks, we'll rebrand them. And Swedish meatballs are now Trump nuts. And the Italian Greyhound, very fast dog, faster than an elephant. A lot of people don't know that. The Italian Greyhound will now be their Republican rat dog. And finally, the White Russian drink. Very nasty name for a drink. The White Russian drink will be the Elon Island Iced Tea. All right, my name's Paul. You guys been awesome. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that Grinch impersonation with his face was terrifying. Did you guys see that? Oh my god. And some of the Trump's facial impression, not that much different than the Grinch's. It was pretty scary. I know it seems like the comedians just keep getting smaller and smaller as the show goes on. I swear we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna turn it around. If this mic stand could go. All right. We got 3 comics left, right? 3 comics left. Please make it nice and loud for Will Laws.
What's up? I used to be a bouncer.
No shit.
Take it in. Yeah. But I'm like smaller in stature, you know, so I feel like people didn't really give me respect, you know? Like you'd go to the door, be like, can I see your ID? They'd be like, no. You know, or be like a gaggle of frat dudes coming to a bar, you know? That the first one hands the ID, and then the guys in the back are like, it's a fake, it's a fake. You know, it's like, dude, I don't know. You know, like, I'm bad at my job, man. Like, I don't know that shit at all. And the first thing they teach you as a bouncer, they're like, this is your door. Like, don't let anybody come past your door, you know? And so people like come up and try to like say shit to like get you to leave. And one time this guy came up to me and he was like, hey man, there's like 2 guys like blowing each other in the bathroom. You should probably go like break that up. And I was like, nice try, man. Not getting past me. No way, Jose. So I went and checked it out. And I mean, to my surprise, there was a man. There's a man sitting on the sink with like his legs in the air. You guys have seen Heat of Rivalry, right? Okay, figure it out. His like legs were in the air, and then the guy was just like face first in there, you know? And like the first thing that came to my mind was like, this guy doesn't know what blowing each other means. Like that. Oh, like, that guy's getting a salad toss, dude. This is way more aggressive. This is way more aggressive. And like, again, I'm bad at my job, so I didn't know what to do, so I just fucking joined in. I was like, might as well, man. I don't know, see what happens. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I'm a dishwasher now. Really going up the totem pole in life, you know. It's pretty good. But I'm a dishwasher, back of house, you know, gotta work with line cooks all day. I don't know if you've ever been a line cook before. They're pretty fucking weird, man. They come from all different walks of life, so you never know like what the conversation's gonna be about, you know? Like this guy came up to me, you know, like I'm a solo dishwasher, so I'm just in the dish pit by myself, and they think they have to talk to me, and I really don't want them to. But this guy came up to me and he was like, hey man, and I was like, fuck, dude. And he's like, what? And I was like, dude, yesterday you asked me how big my dick was. Like, I don't know how this is gonna go at all. But he came up to me and he was like, where did you work before this? And I was like, that's a normal question, okay. And I was like, you know, I give him the what for, I told him this, that, and the third what I did. And then I was like, okay, what about you? Like, what did you do before this? And he's like, before I got this job, I was gonna be a door-to-door salesman. And I was like, oh man, that sounds fucking awful. This constant rejection, you gotta face that all the time? That sounds terrible. And he was like, no, it's actually not too bad. I used to do it before. And I was like, oh no, wait, what'd you sell? He's like, I sold popcorn for the Boy Scouts. It's like, dude, that doesn't count at all, man. Like, that's not even close to count, dude. Your mom was probably with you. Like, they have to buy shit from you, I think. Like, you never been to the trenches before, dude? Like, ever try to sell, like, solar panels to a Republican? Like, that's way harder. That's way harder, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's how the conversations go, man. They start off in one way, they go the other way. Never know where they're gonna go. Another time, the line coach talking, they're like swapping drug stories, you know? And I thought I'd chime in. I was like, you know, I took mushrooms one time, and I was watching The Other Guys, you know, that like buddy cop movie with Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, you know. I was watching that on mushrooms, And then slowly, like throughout the movie, Mark Wahlberg's face like progressively kept getting smaller and smaller, and his forehead kept getting like bigger and bigger and bigger. You know? So by the end of the movie, he was like 95% forehead. You know? And the fellas liked that one. That one went good. And then that same guy comes up to me. He's like, "Dude, no way, dude. That's like a very similar thing happened to me, dude. Like actually, like the exact same thing happened to me. I was on ketamine watching Austin Powers, and I shit myself." And I didn't clean up for 6 hours, bro. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, so many things went through my mind. I was like, one, like, this guy doesn't know what the same means. Like, at all. And two, dude, it's like 6 hours? Austin Powers is an hour and a half. What the fuck else were you doing? You just wanted to sit in it, I think. I don't know what you're a weird guy, man. Also, that movie on ketamine? Imagine looking at Fat Bastard on ketamine. You would just like disassociate. I don't know what would happen. I think I would just fall into an existential crisis. Fuck that shit. I don't do hard drugs. That's why I stay away from that shit. Just weed. Weed's enough, man. Weed's enough. It's the best drug. Everything's better on weed. You know? Everything. The food's better. Everyone has their favorite munchies. I like Girl Scout cookies. I fucking love Girl Scout cookies. I just don't know why they don't sell them year-round. You know? I feel like they should. Like, I looked it up, like, every year during cookie season, that's what they call it. Every year during cookie season, they make $800 million annually. Yeah, dude, and, like, you're stopping? Like, what the fuck? I thought you guys were greed as capitalists like little piggies, dude. Like, give me my fucking cookies, man. I want those fucking cookies, dude. And also, we know, like, those little girls, like, aren't making them. You know what I mean? Like, Sally's not making a Samoa. Those are fucking factory goodness made by machine. You know what I mean? Like, you can make those pretty quickly. And then even when they do come back, they're like elusive for some reason. Like, you gotta find them, like a scavenger hunt. Like, I have to look up where the Girl Scouts are going to be. That's not good for me or them, dude. Like me going on Google being like, where are the Girl Scouts today? They got like slow drive in front of Safeway and just being like, where the fuck are these kids at? Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? What the hell, man? Just give me my fucking cookies. Put them in Walmart. I'm bad at sex. Just thought I'd be honest out here, you know. I'm bad at it. I just don't have it a lot, you know. I think that must be why. I don't know. My last girlfriend, I waited like 3 dates before we had sex, because I'm a fucking gentleman, you know. And on the third day, we like finally go back to my house, and we're like, you know, getting after it. We're doing the thing, you know. I'm like kissing on her neck, and she like whispers into my ear. She's like, "Put it in, coach." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Don't say that. I don't like that at all. I didn't want that." So I was following orders, you know, and so like I'm hovering, right, and I'm about to put it in. So I get ready, take a deep breath, you know. Well, I put it in, and then I pulled it out, and I came everywhere, fucking everywhere, man. It happens, fellas. You feel me? You feel me? And I didn't know what to do. Like, I felt really bad in the moment, you know, and I was giving her all like the things. I was like, "You're just so pretty." You know? Like, this never happened. This never happened to me. I'm so embarrassed. But she was like really nice about it, you know. She was like very, very nice. She's like, "No, it's okay." She like lied to me. She was like, "It's flattering." I mean, it's not, but it's okay. But she was being super nice to me, and you know, and like I feel like I went through like a huge wave of emotions, you know, like I was about to have sex, and then I came really fast, and she was being really nice to me, and so like I kind of just blurted out. I didn't know what I was thinking, so I was like, "Oh, I love you. Thank you for being." I was like, "Thank you for being so understanding. Oh, you're the best. I love you so much." And I didn't really realize what I said, so we just went back to watching Surf's Up. And, great movie. So we were watching Surf's Up. And she was like silent for like 5 minutes, right? So like I felt like I did something wrong, so I was doing my aftercare shit. And I was like, do you want some juice or something? I don't know, are you okay? And she was like, do you know what you just said to me? And I was like, Chicken Joe rules? Like, I don't know. It's a good movie, man. She's like, no, you said you loved me. And I had to like, that's like a weird position to put me in, you know? Like, like I had to like backtrack. I just had to go and like, well, I don't. I don't love you at all. You're a stranger, I just met you. God. What the fuck? Yeah. You all know that now, so that's fun. I was at a bar earlier, and me and this guy like walked into the bathroom at the same time, and we like went to urinals side by side, and then we started peeing at the same time, you know, and then we like finished at the same time, and then we went to like the sink at the same time. We started washing our hands, finished washing our hands at the same time, and we kind of just like made eye contact in the mirror. We like looked at each other, and I was like, dude, I think I love you. All right, my name's Will. Thank you very much.
He claims he was a bouncer. Yeah, a tiny bouncer. Remember the Elton John song? Tiny bouncer. Oh, by the way, a quick update for me. I looked up what IUD means, and it stands for Improvised Underwater Destroyer. So also a military term, thank God. We're back to tall comics now, the important people in the world. Let's welcome our second to last comic. Please make it nice and loud for Max Brand.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you all feel this way, but sometimes people have a hard time judging me, you know, because they see me and they can't tell if I'm a threat. You know, I can just see their mind working. It's like, I don't know. He's tall, so he's powerful, but he's bald, so he's weak. But he's tall, so he's noticeable, but he's bald, so people notice him. But he's tall, so he's a leader, but he's bald, so he's an evil leader. At least that's what I assume they're thinking. I met a guy at a bar the other day and I was like, hey man, I'm Max. And he said, I make $300,000 a year. So I said, and forever shall you reign, my liege. I get judged very differently if I have a hat on. Like the other day I was on the street with my hat on and there was this woman who was clearly lost. She was looking around. Then she made eye contact with me and started walking directly toward me. And as she got closer, I took my hat off to help her. And she went... because she was thinking, I can trust this guy. He looks like he has kids. And then I took my hat off and she was like, he looks like he has kids buried somewhere. I do get misjudged a lot, but I also get accurately judged sometimes. Like I was at the gym the other day and there was a guy working out next to me and he was like, hey man, you got good form. What I should have said was, thank you. But instead, my brain went through 3 phases very quickly. 1, he's right, I'm getting ripped. 2, if I get ripped, I could be a bodybuilder. 3, if I was a bodybuilder, I would do steroids. But my mouth went immediately to step 3. So this guy was like, hey man, you got good form. And I was like, I would do steroids. He left. That was the accurate judgment of that situation. I went hiking the other day. It was hard to be alone with my thoughts for that long. I was not prepared for that. But it was a beautiful hike, it was. Like I learned a lot. Like for instance, I learned that pine trees are shaped exactly like my mother's disappointment. It's crazy, right? It was just like nuts to learn. It was like crazy that like when I stepped on snow, it sounded like every mistake I've ever made in my life. And that uncontrollably sobbing does just as good of a job as bear spray, keeping bears away. Super helpful. It was great. But I have to like get out of the house sometimes. Like for my birthday this year, I also went hiking because that was my gift. You know, The hike was my gift. I got physical items too, but they weren't really gifts. For my birthday this year, I got a security camera set up and a grilling apron. Those aren't gifts. Those are notes about my performance. That was my family being like, for the past year, we have felt unsafe and hungry. Do better next year. I opened them all up. I turned to my wife. I was like, are we okay? She was like, why don't you step into my office? She's like, look, first of all, we love you here, okay? We want you to succeed. But you haven't been pulling the best numbers. So we need you to step it up in Q3. And you should know that we are interviewing other candidates. I was like, that's fair, that's fair. But my wife and I are home a lot because we have a baby. And thank you, yeah. And when you have a baby, you know, people say a lot of times the same little joke to you. They're always like, baby, huh? Probably not getting much sleep, are you?
No! No, I'm not! You are correct!
But having a baby changes things, you know? Like the other day, my wife and I wanted to have sex, but I couldn't do it. Because my brain was like, you want to have sex in the same house as a baby? You sick freak. Which wasn't fair, because the baby was locked in the car outside. It's a joke. It's a joke. We put her in there as a joke. No, I'm joking. I love my baby. She's the best. You know, she makes me laugh all the time. Like the other day, I was putting her down to sleep, and she started giggling, and then I started giggling, and then she projectile vomited into my own open mouth. Yeah. And my best friend lives in Texas, drives motorcycles all day, and doesn't have any kids. And I've been thinking about that. For no reason at all. I work remotely, and the other day I was on a meeting with my boss, and my daughter was playing next to me. And my boss, she said, I want you to make your clients your #1 priority. I was like, my #1 priority? She was like, yes. So I picked up my daughter and I threw her across the room. I was like,
Your time is over, baby! It's my client's time now!
my wife started breastfeeding her. I was like,
No! She is no longer our #1 priority. That breast milk is my client's breast milk.
my manager was still on the call. She was like, I think you're misunderstanding me. I was like, you're right. I'm so sorry. My clients aren't my baby. They are my God. I must give them my baby. So now my daughter's being raised by Straight Line AI, and I think she's going to do really well. It's a growing company. It's great. But ever since I had the baby, I've been a little bit more emotional than I used to be. But I don't want to be too emotional in the wrong situation, you know? Like, I didn't want to be too emotional for my grandmother's funeral, so I practiced how I would cry. I had a lot of different options. I narrowed it down to 3. The first one is the story cry. You know, it's very good at a funeral where you're telling a story. And then you start realizing that the story is in the past. And the past is sad because it's not the present. That's a great funeral cry. Another good funeral cry is a dip cry, you know, especially if you're hungry. You take some dip. Who made this dip? Who made this beautiful dip? She would have loved this dip. Great funeral cry. The last option I had was the cry to cough, you know. Done, you know? A little bit more masculine, more repressed. Also, great funeral cry option. And I was practicing all of them, and I was gonna make my choice. And then my grandma walked in the room. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. Definitely not preparing for the near future. And then she stared at me, and I couldn't tell if she was a threat or not. I was like, I don't know. She's tall, so she's powerful, but she's bald, so she's weak. Thank you so much, y'all. Have a great night.
And now we bring up our final comedian of the night, and then it's voting time. Please make it nice and loud by clapping your hands, and welcome Thomas Blake.
I was dumping my nail clippings out of my keyboard the other day. Just thinking about the fact that missionary position's beneath me. We're in an era of shit being on the news for 45 minutes and then we never talk about it again. Usually that'd be a good thing, I think. But I don't know, we'll try it now. I'll be a newsman. Hey, why do the grapes at the store always gotta be open? Or whatever. I don't know what he says. I watch TikTok now. Come on. For a while there, it was autism is gonna get you only if your mom took Tylenol during pregnancy. So everyone here is autistic. And also, someone dropped the ball. Why is it called Tylenol PM and not acetaminophen? Moving on, Epstein files. Continuing on to something completely different. How about learning about me? My name's Tom. I'm here. I was introduced that way for a reason. Thomas is a stage name. I'm more pretentious when I'm slightly elevated from the rest of the crowd. It's a two-syllable name. Before I ever moved in with somebody, a partner, I had roommates. Before I ever moved in with a girlfriend, I got a vasectomy. That's called a fear of commitment. I waited until I was almost 40, got both of those things. It really sets the mind at ease. And then a sad thing happened. My future mother-in-law got me these shoes for Christmas. I think she wants grandkids, because nothing says dad like some white New Balance. I have been learning things in my delayed adulthood, I guess we'll call it. I played a lot of World of Warcraft. That was just some waste of time, it turns out. Who knew? Everybody knew. Don't play the same video game for 14 hours a day for 12 years. That's if I had life advice to give to anybody. Level 76 Blood Elf Mage will not get you any extra lives. Last Buzz Comedy. I've been learning things. We split up our chores each week, right? She does the easy half of the chores. I know, because her half takes 30 minutes and mine takes like 3 hours. Each week, one of us does the upstairs and one does the downstairs, and then we switch. And then the next week, hers is somehow the easy one, too. I might not be very efficient at this. I learned that you have to do the chores a lot more thoroughly and more often than I ever did them before. I grew up in a hoarder house. I couldn't throw a party in high school. I was like, but then we would have to clean the house so our friends could come over. I made my mom cry when I was 7 when I asked, hey mom, if we only clean the house when people are coming over, isn't that like lying? That was an honest question for me. I didn't know. But yeah, we couldn't have kids over for a party because then we'd have to fuck up the house back into the same way it was before. Put the hoard just so. Yeah, now we sweep so often I can't even see the pile. I stepped in the sweeping pile. You're not supposed to step in someone's sweeping pile. You gotta apologize. I didn't apologize. She said, you stepped in my sweeping pile. I said, maybe if we did it less often, we could see it. Just saying, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm just playing at this right now. I don't know if you know this, but I don't even dust those shelves every other week. They only get dusted every other week. She's like, yeah, I know. It's cool. I make up for it. I do all the cooking. I do all the grocery shopping. So I know secret things like, man, you could learn, I don't know, what brand of soap you guys use for mopping in your house.
Because a lot of you don't know that. And if you go to the store right now, you're like, I'm gonna get the soap for mopping. It doesn't even say mop soap on it. It says all purpose. Mopping is one of the purposes. I think dolphins are another of the purposes. I don't know. So you get that, you bring it home. Here's what happens, okay? Then when your gal is going to mop the floor and she's like, we run out of mop soap. Oh shit, you already got another bottle of mop soap. Oh, thank you. I didn't know men could do that. And you're gonna make it very romantic. You get that mop. You make like it's a microphone stand. You sing a little song to celebrate this moment together. You know, it's something like, do you want to turn on Blue Bloods and do hand stuff when you're done mopping? That's my contribution to comedy. I've invented a form of comedy where you pretend that the microphone stand is a mop that you are pretending is a microphone stand. And then later when you're at home with the mop again, thinking about the awesome joke that I told where it gets a whole inception, you can just go through your mind like the floor mops itself at that point. You know, oh yeah, is it a microphone stand? I don't know. I invented that, okay? It's easier to make a bed with two people. That's totally why I didn't do it as often before when I was a bachelor. But it's important. There's one thing you don't want to help too much. You know, when you're doing the like fancy waiter, lay out the tablecloth, the thing with the sheet, you know the one. If you jump in to help on that, all of a sudden you got the kindergarten parachute. And that sets things awry. It's still fun though. Some people don't know about the kindergarten parachute. Some people don't know that chili's good with cinnamon rolls. And it's all about what school district you lived in when you were growing up. And a few of us in this room know about both of those things. I see you. I don't know. I'm not a man. I know I'm not a man. I know because my dad told me. No, it's fine. This joke's gonna be woke. Don't worry about it. Like I'm not a woman. I know that much because when my tits started coming in 7th grade, my friends didn't call me a bitch behind my back for it. I'm not a woman. I'm not a man. I mean, like I know why it is that if you have never changed your transmission fluid and it's been too many miles, you should just leave it forever. But it doesn't give me a half chub to talk about it. Not a man. But also, I don't get mad and hold a grudge for way too long for something you did in a dream. Clearly not a lady. Oh my God. Not for too long. It turns out you don't have to identify as a man or a woman. This is what I learned from my nephew, my nibbling. My sister's kid. And it's been great for me to find this out because I like learning stuff. Because I don't have to be a man. Haha, Dad. I can be something called agender. That's no gender identity. And they got their own like flag at Pride Month. It's one of the shitty rainbows, but it's still a flag. Flags are cool. I like flags. My favorite flag is Nepal. It's 2 triangles, and triangles taste better. Okay? It's a grilled cheese sandwich rule of flags. Some people worry about pronouns. I use the default. Like I just hit default on all the character setup screen pages, and so I got like by default, like, oh yeah, he, him. Yep. Nobody's gonna try to talk to me about gender when I don't have a microphone. That's best for me. I really like that. People still listen to me when I talk in a meeting at work. They'll think I know something. It's gonna be awesome. So if you've ever really not felt like a man or a woman, you could do what I do and be agender, and you just grab on to the coattails of the patriarchy and just water ski around. Totally incognito on this lake of privilege. Just a spray of performative social justice activism in my woke. I'm Thomas Blake, good night.
Blake. Okay, we're going to go right into voting. Do you remember how to do it? Okay, so the first people to vote are you people on the back bench. Please go over to the box area of the bar and spread your gems out accordingly. Also, you four here, you may now get up and go to the back and place your votes. I'm going to be recapping the comedians to remind you who they were. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute and then I'll read you these notes. Okay, and now this side of the room, everybody's sitting against this wall. All right, everyone's sitting against this wall. You may go vote now, all right? Okay, here are some notes. Okay, our first comedian tonight was Amanda Taylor. She revealed that backing up a trailer is not as hard as us guys pretend. She kind of spilled the beans on that one, hurt my feelings a lot. I'm mad. Amanda is our only comic from Missoula. Amanda claims she once gave a life-changing hand job to a cancer survivor. That was Amanda. And I think Amanda challenged an audience member to arm wrestling, which was a very an amazing thing to do. All right. So that was Amanda. Next we had Noah Crow. Noah Crow gave us the life lesson. Make sure a girl knows you have a stutter before you ask her what country she's from. Very important from Noah Crow. Noah Crow looks like Betamax from Big Hero 6. That's who Noah Crow is. Next we had Eli Singleton, the sweet, ideal trans-looking person. He claims he was the Mormon gay magnet. He's ex-Mormon, and he used to sell God, and now he sells cars. That's Eli Singleton. Then we had Kaiser Lieb, our only contestant from the town of Helena. He greeted you in song. That was very fun. Kaiser can't accept an invite to threesome because he doesn't like disappointing two people at one time. His parents. Okay. He referred in his song. He referred to someone as thick. Who did Kaiser refer to as thick in his song? This was you. You were alleged to be thick in Kaiser's song. Very congratulations, Brian. And rectangles are his favorite kind of catangles. Okay, continuing to usher the votes. I would like you people right here to please head back and put your votes in the boxes. And you guys can go. This whole table area too. Please make your way back and then come back. All right, continuing the summary. Stone Cassad was next. He said that in the Midwest, tornadoes just mean you're about to go swimming in a hotel. Stone Cassad.
He was funny.
Yeah. He admitted he went to Zootopia 2 on mushrooms. He also talked about Monsters, Inc. And he gave us a delightful conversation between Donald Trump and Michael Jackson. Do you remember that one? That was a pretty good joke. Pretty good joke, Stone. And he also did an impression of his own wife. That was delightful. Okay, the second half of our show was led off by Abby Rohde, who shops for bras at the American Girl doll store. And she said Montana taking credit for Yellowstone National Park is like a married couple saying they're pregnant. We're pregnant. That was an awesome joke. She also used a bunch of fake terms like IUD. That was Abby Rohde. Paul Osenkup was next with a fury of owl impersonations for the bird fans in the room. He gave medical advice via a spot-on Obama impersonation. And maybe my personal favorite joke of the night, he said Chinese checkers are going to be renamed American Star Marbles. Fantastic. That was Paul Osenkup. Will Laws. Will Laws used to be a tiny bouncer. Will Laws met some gay gentlemen in the bathroom of the place he worked at. Will Laws said, "I love you" to a girl the first time they got naked together. Awesome job, Will. Fantastic. Okay, I want you tables right here to go do your voting. These tables right here. Make your way back. Also, you tables right here. You, and you. You can go back and vote now. Remember, you can split up the gems however you want. One in each, or two in one, or all three. Max Brand was our second to last. He's tall, so he's a leader, but he's bald, so he's an evil leader. Max Brand and his wife locked their baby in the car during sexy time. Just an awesome thing to do. And he practiced crying for his grandma's funeral. And last we had Thomas Blake, who you just saw. I won't mention many of the jokes, you just saw him, but one of his jokes, missionary position is beneath him, which is fantastic. Levin, some words? Oh, okay, got you, all right. Okay, so while Levin's here, it reminds me, the prizes for this competition here, the winner tonight, you guys, gets $500. That's a big deal for some of these comics. Yes, they've been washing. Will's been washing a lot of dishes. The comedian who wins. Yes. In addition to that, they get a feature spot at this very club on a Friday night. So pretty cool prize. All right. I have a montage. As our last group votes, I'm going to play a montage of the comedians who did not make the finals. I believe Ty will open up some music for the montage. I'm going to get that started, and then I'll send the last group to vote. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the results of the voting. Thank you for voting. We had a tight competition for many of the positions. I am only going to announce the top 3 finishers tonight. So, please drum on your thigh muscles and knees. Your third place finisher in the 2026 Montana's Funniest Human Person is Will Laws.
Thank you all for coming out. It was a very fun night, and thank you for voting for me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Terrible bouncer. Probably the worst bouncer in history, Will Laws. But you still get the fruit by the foot. You know who else gets fruit by the foot? Our second place finisher tonight. And for the year, do the things with your thighs. And say hello to Abby Rohde.
Thank you to my parents and my sister and my boss and Eden Moritz. Thank you.
And with a stunning 80 votes, and the winner of this competition and all of the prizes I described earlier, plus these fine Costco roses, please to your feet and clap for Paul Osenkup.
know the election was rigged. It was a very rigged election. We know this was not the way it was supposed to go. And frankly, this is a very sad comedy club. You're on a basement in Montana. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
That's our show tonight. Thanks for staying up late for us. Drive safe. Hold on your town. Good night.